Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the I Should Totally Be Dead Right Now podcast, where we tell true stories of survivors of true crime, natural disasters, and everything else in between. So this week we have my good friend, Tanya. Hello, Tanya.
Hello.
Again, Michelle's here.
Yeah, you're goddamn right.
And
you can't get rid of me.
So, Tanya, well, what drinks do we have today?
We kind of, it's like, I'm jumping in, sorry.
It's okay,
sorry,
I forgot.
We have every Thanksgiving, and so it's like a cranberry mimosa with a little bit of lime.
Delicious.
So, yeah, they're pretty tasty, right?
Yeah.
They're very drinkable.
Absolutely.
So you can either do it with cranberry juice or pomegranate juice, so half that, half champagne, put a little squeeze of lime in there, little cranberries to float on top as a garnish, and you're done.
Yeah.
You have a delightfully holiday drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even red and green. God damn it.
You're so good.
Amazing.
And then we also had 5 Farms Irish cream.
That Irish cream. Even the woman at the liquor store was like, have you tried this 5 Farms? And I was like, yeah, 8 million times. And she's like, oh, it's just so good, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it's really delicious. And she's like, it's worth paying up for it.
So there we go.
Yeah,
Hashtag not sponsored. Yet.
Yes. 5 Farms are coming for you.
That's right.
Oh, God damn it.
So Tanya and I, we've been friends for over 6 years now.
Yeah, how do you guys know each other? You worked together briefly. Is that what it was?
We interned together.
We
were victim advocates together during college.
You know what? This whole time, I thought you worked at the bait shop. I did not realize you were a victim advocate also. Oh, Michelle, I'm a bitch. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was like, no, that's cool. I mean,
yeah, no.
Now I don't know, a whole victim advocate, that's like a whole nother level.
Level up.
That was a whole other level for it.
Caitlin, we hired this one deaf woman to come work with us. Actually, she was more of a girl. She was younger.
She was my age.
Yeah, when you were young at that point.
Right.
So what were you, like 16, 17?
No, I was 18.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it. But she signed with her the entire time. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was like she trained her.
Yeah.
She showed her everything. And
no, it was really
great.
good. I feel like I got almost pretty fluent working with her every single day because she taught me language. And I got my own name sign. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because apparently only someone in the deaf community can give one to you. Mm-hmm.
I know what lesbian is in sign language. Isn't it? Is it this? Is this
no,
lesbian?
No, it's not.
Oh, is this bitch?
No, that's not.
Is this nothing?
That's nothing.
What is lesbian?
What is that?
Wait, no, this, no, what? Oh, I forgot it already.
Well, now I'm not going to teach you again.
No, you have to teach me again. What is lesbian? That's right. I know what that looks like. And then you got your chin nestled down. Obviously, I'm not real great on the nuances of sign language. And some other good ones. What's your favorite sign?
Huh?
What's your favorite sign?
Her name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my name sign is this. Because it's a C, and I smile a lot, she said. So it's my name sign.
So it's a C up to your right cheek,
yeah.
And like kind of brushing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm always smiling.
You are always smiling.
This is
hysterical.
This is stupid. I like that one.
Oh yeah, I think I'd use that one a lot. Right to
Beautiful.
Your stupid face.
Yeah.
How do you do face?
Just face.
Face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do stupid face, so I can do it all the time to people. I'm gonna say, be quiet in your stupid face.
Okay.
She's
just doing this.
I guess it's not real conducive to a podcast.
No.
This is what we need to be live streaming.
Yeah, so people can see. No, all right. So, anything else before we jump into it?
No.
I don't know. I kind of want to.
I'm going to go first, and then Tanya's going to go second.
That I am.
So, let's just jump into it. Here we go. This story is about Shannon Malloy.
Shannon Malloy.
Yes.
All right.
It is January 25th, 2007, and Shannon is 30 years old and living in Nebraska.
All right.
So...
Do you know much about Nebraska?
No.
I know nothing about Nebraska.
Did you say ew?
Yeah, it feels cold. I know that it's cold.
Uh-huh.
And flat. And isn't there a lot of corn?
So there's not much detail about this, but she got into a car accident.
Okay.
We don't know whose fault it was. We don't know
yours.
This or that, probably.
Was it like on an abandoned road in Nebraska?
It doesn't say.
Okay, so we know very little about
very
the
little
car
about the accident, but the impact of the accident was so hard that she slammed her head into the dashboard.
Yeah, okay.
So this causes her skull to separate from her spine, internally decapitates herself. So her skin.
That's fucking wretched.
Yeah. So
Isn't that what happens when you break your neck?
No,
I mean, that's
it's different.
When you,
No. Her skin, spinal cord, and other internal organs were still intact, but she had no control of her head. It was like flopping around, and it was only being connected by skin and muscle tissue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shannon.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. So she was able to still walk and have full use of her arms and hands, so she was not paralyzed.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Because I thought it was like your brain that
Nope.
handled all that.
No, luckily her spinal cord was not damaged. So
I guess all that happens in your spinal cord?
I
then?
guess so. So surgeons were going to have 5 screws drilled into her neck and 4 more drilled into her head to reattach her head, pretty much.
God. I don't even... I
I'm
can't
not
even imagine this.
I don't like this story.
I'm sorry.
Like, is her head just like hanging out on her shoulder, like while she's walking?
Like the giraffe from Hangover?
Oh, no, no. So they put a thing called a halo on her. So pretty much it was a circular thing over her head. So it's
That was
around
all
her head.
metal.
It's all metal, and then they
Oh.
drilled a rod that's placed on her shoulders. So she
can't move.
cannot
She
move
can't move
her
her
head.
I know what you're talking about. I saw this on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
I know
gosh.
what you're talking
It's
about.
very helpful to have Grey's Anatomy.
really
You
is.
can be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
pretty
about.
qualified, so I totally understand now. Got it.
So,
Next.
so it was around her skull and then attached to her shoulders with rods. So yeah, she was
I want to
stuck
know how
in
she
there.
even made it to the hospital.
They probably just surrounded her, probably did this. I don't
Maybe
know.
it was
Neck
in
collar.
downtown
Yeah, thank you.
Nebraska.
I told you.
So they needed to screw, her head back. And so she was awake for all this.
Oh.
And when they tried to screw in her head, they've never seen anything like this before. Usually people pass away when that happens.
I would imagine so, yes.
So when
I
they were
would
trying
hope
to,
so.
when they were trying to screw back her neck, she could feel her head slipping off her neck because it kept sliding off.
Okay, girl, that is barftastic.
I know, sorry. This happened 5 times. And then finally, they get it all drilled and she's stable.
Oh my god.
So it took 4 months after the crash that the halo and the neck brace was removed. So she was
hasn't been able to move her head or anything
No.
really for 4 months.
Exactly. So they had
my
to fuse everything together. So she went under 6 surgeries already,
Good
just getting
Lord.
everything taken care of. So she was having problems swallowing and
You think?
so they in place a feeding tube. So she has a feeding tube now.
Oh, okay.
And then also her eyes reshifted when her head was placed back on her head. So now her eyes are crossed.
Oh.
So
Shannon.
yeah. And also her speech suffered a little bit as well. She didn't have to relearn how to walk or talk. It was just they were hindered. The speech was hindered. So it sounded like she was kind of like out of breath a lot.
Oh. Interesting.
So
A lot of sort of side effects that I would not have thought about.
right. Yeah.
Shannon.
Well, she was excited to get her eyes fixed so she could read the new
Whoa.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter book that came out, The Deadly Hallows, that came out July 21st, 2007.
I waited in line for that motherfucking
Did you?
book. Yeah, and read it in one day. Yeah, I stayed over at Walmart overnight with Amy.
Did you read that?
So I didn't read the Harry Potter books until about 2 years ago.
That's okay. I didn't read them either.
Yeah, and because at the time as a teenager, wild teenager that I was,
Uh-huh.
I could not sit there and focus on these, what was it, 6, 7 books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that attention span.
Yeah.
Just, I always read, but just
Yeah.
7 books. Fuck, man.
Yeah. So, Shannon got her surgery and her eyes were fixed for 3 days, and then all of a sudden they went the opposite way. So they were
crossed inwards. They
And
got
then they
fixed, and now they're crossed outwards.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But
It's
then
worse.
one corrected itself so she can see straight, but the other one is still inside, still moved to the inside.
So she could like see her brain.
No.
Damn.
Is it like pointing towards her nose?
Yeah, pointing towards her nose.
Dang.
So now she wore an eye patch to try to strengthen that one eye. So yeah, thank you.
It sucks because whenever you have eye problems, no matter how intelligent you are,
Yeah.
I think people have the perception that you're not super intelligent.
If you have cross-eyed,
If you have
yeah.
cross-eyed problems.
It's
Aw.
true.
Sorry,
But
Shannon.
she also wanted to get a tattoo that says Lady Luck. I mean, because she's super lucky.
Yeah,
that she
because her
survived
head
that.
is not, in fact, off of her body.
Yeah.
I
Just
wouldn't call her
mostly.
lucky at all.
Really?
Like, at this point, I probably would have been like, I wish I would have kicked the bucket, because all I can think about is all of these medical bills and all of these specialists that you have to
Right.
see.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm at with like this shitty insurance that I have.
Right.
So this is, for me, I'm just
You're
thinking
just like, fuck it. I'm just
like
gonna be done
I'm
with
gonna
it.
be in debt the rest of my life. Why
even live?
Why even live?
Well,
Tanya!
I mean, if like 60% of your paycheck is going to these medical bills, because you don't just pay a doctor, you pay the nurse, you pay the building, you pay the anesthesiologist.
That is all true.
that is very true. But she is super
I'm not
lucky
bitter.
because 85% of people that get internally decapitated die. So 15% people actually live through that.
Because that is when you break your neck, you're internally decapitated.
So, okay, hold
That's
on.
always been
Okay,
my
so listen.
understanding.
So surgeons said that the injury was different from the broken neck, which happens to the vertebrae in the neck that are cracked or broken. So in her case, her skull had been knocked off completely off the spinal column.
Oh my gosh.
So her head literally was just floating in her skin.
Her skin.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's different, way different than a broken neck.
neck.
Yeah. She didn't break it.
Yikes.
She popped off. Like,
Oh, come
Aw.
on.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to paint a picture. Like, what happened. Okay, I'm just...
I appreciate you and your painting.
But so it says 70% of people immediately die, and then 50% usually die after the hospital. Like, 15% die in the hospital.
Yeah.
But then only 15% survive.
That is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
I want to know where she was. I want more details about the car accident. So if you could do some research and then
Dude.
come back to us.
Dude, I was watching YouTube videos of like interviews. I went to like 10 different articles. They all like
Nothing?
played off of each other because it was all like the same information.
Oh.
And there was nothing really new. I got some new bits here and there. I tried to look her up on Facebook.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't find anything. I tried to look at the
Just
crash
like Twitter?
records in Nebraska.
Dang,
I
girl.
know. I
Nothing?
tried so hard. I couldn't find anything.
Shan's
so
like, you could have just asked me.
that's kind of...
Thanks.
There's a lot of Shannon Malloy, so...
Oh, is there?
Yeah, so there was a lot, and not a lot in Nebraska.
Who knows what happened with the
knows?
car
I tried to-
accident?
You did the best you could.
I did the best I could. So
Well done, Shannon.
I want to know where
no.
she is now. I want to know if her eyeball is back to normal.
It's
and
not.
not-
It sounds like.
well, that was in 2000. I believe that's 2015.
Oh, so yeah, now we're rolling
5
almost
years.
into
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's insane to me.
she still has a
she's
feeding tube,
Still
and
thriving.
yeah,
Well,
But, like-
Shannon, I hope you can see straight now
And you're not bogged down in
and
miles
can drive.
and miles of
Yeah.
I
medical
hope.
bills.
I hope you're not in debt. I hope some nice rich man paid them off.
yeah. Or which woman?
A rich woman.
That's
No,
right.
Nobody cares.
Progressive, Caitlin. Good
For
job.
sure. For sure.
But no. So yeah,
That's what Joel always says
survived
to
it.
me when he
What?
wants me to go do something outside. I'm like, that kind of feels like a boy job. He's like, nope, I'm progressive. Go get your bitch ass outside.
Well, I guess
So.
equality.
Yeah, it's super.
No, but yeah, so she, I think she's doing well. Hopefully, she got to read the Harry Potter book. That broke my heart. She was super excited.
You know, there's
Probably.
audiobook now.
There is. I've listened to all of them. I own them.
It's different though.
I know.
reading.
I know.
Anywho, okay.
Well, it's more entertaining with the audiobook because he does voices.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does a really
Who's
good
he?
job.
Do you know?
I don't know what his name is. I can look it up.
No, it's okay. I don't need to.
No, he does a really good
We've all
job.
read them.
The narrator of the Harry Potter books on Audible is fantastic.
I think it was Michelle Obama. She read her books on the audiobook.
Mm.
So that would be kind of cool to listen to just because she, it's her voice.
She wrote it.
Yeah,
she read it.
Yeah, maybe she adds a little something in there for you. Or not.
That's what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right, Tanya. Let's jump into your story.
Okay, my story is about Wendy Lynn Eistetter.
What?
Wendy Lynn?
Wendy?
Oh, I thought it was
Lynn
like the number
Eistetter.
one.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Sorry.
Wendy. Okay.
Wendy
Mm-hmm.
Lynn Eistetter.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
it?
Well, barely. But
Okay.
yes.
We're good.
Wendy.
Oh, Wendy. Poor Wendy. She was a 30-year-old woman with 2 children who lived with their father. Wendy was addicted to drugs, a combination of cocaine and heroin, and her preferred method was to combine the two, creating something called speedball at the time.
Oh.
I'm unaware if
Is
it's...
that what a speedball is?
Yeah, I guess.
What's
at the
your
time.
speedball, Michelle?
Well, it's not heroin and coke.
Right.
I would think those would counteract each other. It's like you got coke to kind of get you rolling, but heroin kind of takes you down a notch, doesn't it?
Oh, does it?
Well, I don't know. I've never done heroin or coke. No, I won't get into Regina on Sweet Valley High.
Gosh. No, that happened in Sons of Anarchy, right?
The speedball?
Yeah.
Probably.
He injected it to the chick who was okay, never mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Caitlin.
So, oh shit, sorry. Okay.
For sure, 'cause
Lord.
I've never seen that show.
Oh, ooh. Continue on.
Wendy lived in Canada in a neighborhood in the downtown east side area of Vancouver.
Okay.
Oh.
This area was
I love
very
Vancouver.
well known for its drug use, poverty, crime, homelessness, and prostitution.
You would go there, Michelle.
Well, not maybe to that part of Vancouver. I was like 16.
No, that's a popular tourist spot, isn't it?
Vancouver is a gorgeous city
Yeah.
and has lots to offer, so yes.
Okay.
Maybe not the
continue.
downtown area.
Okay.
East downtown area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And despite its notoriety, there is very little police presence. And when I looked it up, I did notice that on their Wikipedia page just about the Vancouver downtown area, it specifically said that it was mainly drug use there.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe just steer clear
Yeah.
if you're not into drugs.
I mean, that would be best. Wendy often sold herself to support her drug habit.
Aww.
And according to the National News Post, Wendy was picked up by a man in a red truck.
Do we know how old she is?
She, I think, was in her 30s.
Okay.
Oh, we do know,
that
but
is
we
a
don't know the
guess.
year
Right.
at
Okay.
this point.
At this
Okay.
point, we do not.
That's right.
This man offered her $100 to come back to his house. She went back with him, and she didn't normally do this with her clients, but this was a lot of money for her.
It's a Hundy.
Yeah, and she went
I
against
was
her
going to
better
say it's
judgment.
a Benji, but we're up in Canada, so it's not doesn't have Benjamin Franklin on it.
Is that a lot of money for sexual favors?
It said that it was twice the amount she would normally get.
Oh,
For this
I'm like,
area.
that's at least half of
How
what
much
I
is
know.
heroin and cocaine?
It was about $200 a day for her habit, is what I read.
That's a lot.
Whoa. Okay, so she's going back to this guy's house, okay?
Yes, and so she went against her better judgment, and she went with him.
She did not listen to her gut. Is
No.
what it was.
When she got to his house, it was very messy and super dirty.
Oh my god, is it my house? Fucking, I knew it.
I sure hope not, as what goes on is not good.
Aw.
She thought, even if it's dirty, whatever, he's paid me. And once everything was said and done and they had finished their business, she got dressed and was getting ready to go when she sensed that he was hovering around her
Oh.
and was acting strangely attentive. He reached out to her and took her hand and was strangely affectionate, and then very quickly put handcuffs on one of her wrists.
Oh, he's like, oh girl, that
You're
was
so
wonderful.
beautiful.
Ha!
Yeah, got you.
Now, I know that many people experience fight, flight, or freeze, so this could have gone either way.
I'm a freeze. That's mine.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Every time we'd get in trouble, my friends would run off, and I'd be the one stuck there, completely frozen.
That's terrible.
And then I would get all the blame.
Oh, I don't know what I am.
We'll find out later.
Yeah.
I bet you're a fighter. Just punch him straight in the fucking face. That's
That'd be
Caitlin.
Well, Wendy fought as hard as she could. She punched, kicked, and screamed as loud as she could, but he also fought back, breaking her cheekbones, her ribs. But somehow she was able to get away from him and ran into his kitchen and grabbed a knife.
all that coke.
Yeah. Now, she thrashed and slashed this knife so wildly that she actually ended up cutting her own hand.
Oh!
But she was able to make a break for it. And as you can imagine, they were both pretty messed up, bleeding, battered. He had been slashed across his chest multiple times. And the struggle continued outside.
Oh, gosh.
And
They took it outside.
They took this outside.
I'm assuming this isn't a real suburban neighborhood.
What is that one girl, Catch Me Outside?
Oh my god, no. God.
And throughout it, she lost the knife. And right before he lost consciousness of his own, he plunged the knife into her stomach and her chest.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
jeez.
outside?
Outside.
Okay.
So he found it and then just stabbed the shit out of her a couple times.
So in all of this trauma she endured, Wendy was able to get herself up. She actually grabbed the knife and made a run for the nearest house.
Good.
She goes door to door, hoping someone will let her in. But nobody does.
Aww.
We're in Vancouver. We're not in
They're
New York.
they're in a very
I just feel like no one would let you in New York.
Just like the kitty thing.
I guess.
Remember when she was getting raped and like stabbed in the alley?
Oh,
And
I
all
know,
the
and
people
no one
heard?
helped.
Yeah.
That was a Law and Order episode.
That
Well,
a
it was
real
real
thing.
life too.
Yeah.
Well, I know they usually base it off of.
Oh, okay.
They say they don't, but sure as shit do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Agreed.
But anyway, nobody helps her. And she starts to run again, and she is absolutely terrified when she sees headlights coming up the road, and she's afraid that it's the man in the red pickup truck.
So
Well,
she
it's a
woke
coppers.
like she didn't fall unconscious.
No,
she got
she didn't.
stabbed and then she's like, I'm out.
She's like physically holding on to her organs as
Oh
she's
my
running.
God.
And no one
Gosh.
would help her?
No.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I would have helped. I would have
Yeah,
been like,
well,
get
good,
in
yeah, I
here,
hope so, too.
and we're calling whatever 911 is in Canada. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Thankfully, it's not the red pickup truck, but it's a car with an elderly couple in it.
Aw.
And she frantically flags them down, completely covered in mud. And I think that this couple is completely brave for stopping and helping this mad woman with blood all over her, yielding a knife and screaming.
Yeah.
They took her to the nearest hospital, still with the handcuffs on, might I add.
Oh my gosh.
Her injuries were so extensive, she was taken into surgery almost immediately and spent quite weeks in the hospital.
Oh.
So the hospital staff listened to Wendy's amazing story, and they discovered something interesting for who should appear that very same night with stab wounds.
Oh.
Our red pickup truck?
Mr. Red Pickup Truck.
Oh.
His story was that he had picked up a woman looking for a ride, and this woman had randomly attacked him. Now, their stories are pretty different, but the one thing that tied them together was the handcuffs on Wendy's wrists and the key in his pocket.
Oh, burn! Right in your face, red pickup truck.
The hospital
Right
staff,
in your stupid face. However you sign that.
however we signed that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just pointing at
Yeah.
myself. That's not good.
That's not sign language.
Good effort, though. Good effort.
Okay.
The hospital staff called the police, bagged up Wendy's clothes and this man's clothes for evidence. The man was charged with attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and forcible confinement.
Oh.
Now, during this time, women had been disappearing from the downtown Vancouver area for over a decade, and
dear.
nobody knew why.
Oh.
Except that they were mostly sex workers, aboriginals, and addicts, which of course made them easy targets.
Right.
Because they, not a lot of family.
Over 24 women vanished in the Vancouver area in the 80s and 90s, and Wendy at the time had no idea that she had survived something that would connect her to all of these women.
What?
I just got goosebumps.
Unfortunately, the community in Vancouver was not safe for very long. Bail was set for just $2,000. And within 9 months, the Crown had dropped all charges against him.
What?
For at the time, reasons unknown, But we know years later that the prosecutor had said that Wendy was in no state to testify in a courtroom because of her debilitating drug addiction.
Oh.
She didn't get cleaned up on the weeks and weeks while she was in the hospital? That's what I thought maybe was going to happen.
We probably hoped that, but he served 0 time for his crimes against Wendy. And though Wendy didn't realize at the time, she had survived a vicious attack against Robert William Pickton, a British Columbia pig farmer who had become known as Canada's notorious serial killer.
Don't ever trust a pig farmer.
Michelle, didn't you want pigs?
Well, those cute, adorable loose pigs, yes. Oh my God, you should have seen them, these 5 little piglets. Like, our dogs are losing their minds. And so I was like, Caitlin, can you go check what's going on upstairs? And she goes upstairs. She comes running back downstairs. She's like, it's pigs! There's 5 pigs outside.
I'm so happy that happened to you.
Yeah.
That's such a moment for you.
So we ran outside, and I tried to, like, they were in our neighbor's driveway across the street. Yeah, and I was like, here's piggies. And they were not having any of it. But it was so cute because they were, like, rutting around in the mud. And they see me, and they're like, huh? And they, like, look up, and they've got mud all over their face. And then they just hightailed it out of there. And I was like, I want pigs. They're so adorable. I guess they destroyed somebody else's yard.
Oh, no.
Completely. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like this 90-year-old man. They had to go try to fix it. But a pig can eat a human body in like 12 minutes or something.
How do you
like
know?
that. Well, it was in a movie.
It was in a movie?
Yeah. Snatch.
Like a documentary or like...
No, it had Brad Pitt in it.
Well, then of course it must be real.
Yeah, it must be true.
But yeah, you can feed a body to a pig and it'll eat it.
That's
Bones and all.
He'll eat the bones. They'll eat the bones.
Yeah. So never trust a pig farmer.
I never trust a
you
pig,
can get rid of bodies.
Interesting. Well, when you start getting pigs, I'm going to maybe find a different job. So.
Yeah, because you want to know who's getting fed first? You are.
Holy shit.
You and your stupid face.
Oh.
Oh, I'm just kidding. You don't have a stupid face.
Thank you.
It's pretty.
Thank you.
It is pretty.
Continue
So,
on.
by the time he had attacked Wendy, he had killed nearly 10 women and would go on to kill 18 more and is suspected for an additional 20.
Oh
So
my
they
God.
had him.
They had him.
And let him go because Wendy maybe was on too much drugs.
Yep.
That's
I blame the
crazy.
prosecutor.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He was in custody. It was $200 for his bail. Like
2,000.
Well, 10% though, right?
I think it's different in Canada.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's
Maybe
true.
that's
I'm unclear with that one, but yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's true.
unclear.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, still $2,000. Like
Yeah.
ugh.
So all throughout the downtown Vancouver area, all of these women had gone missing. And I tried finding more information about Wendy now. And the last thing that had been posted in regards to her was back in 2002. And she hasn't been seen in quite some time. She had been around during the preliminary hearings and the trials and things like that. But after that, she had just gone missing. And at the time, her 10-year-old daughter, now 24, 25, says that for all I know and for all I'm concerned is she's probably dead.
Aww.
So it seems that she
So
probably
it sounds like
continued.
she did not get over
Yeah.
the drugs.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Drugs will, like, destroy your whole
Yeah.
life.
So
my
this
feeling.
this house where she had been attacked in was a pig farm that had actually been discussed with the police multiple times.
Oh.
The families of some of the 50 women who have vanished in the Vancouver downtown area in the past decade, whose bodies have never been recovered, say that years of them asking, prostitutes on the street, asking, have you seen my daughter, my mother, either of those things, they have said, go ask the pig farmer because that's where he would pay for women to get high. He would bring them there and he would feed their bodies to his pigs and creating sausage with the parts.
Whoa!
of-
No! That makes it worse.
My gosh.
William was convicted in 2007 of second-degree murder for 6 of the women that he was charged with.
Only second-degree murder?
Yes, but later on he went on to be charged for an additional 20, life without parole for 25 years, the longest sentence for murder under Canadian law at the time. So 25 years without parole. That means in 25 years after that he'll get the chance to be eligible for parole. But from what I read, the Crown is probably going to be like, that's a hard no for you, bro.
Yeah,
I hope so.
25 years, that seems like nothing.
It
Right.
does seem like nothing, especially since that last chick who...
Got 100 years.
100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, she did kill a baby.
We'll cut it out.
And that was awful.
Right.
But she got 100 years for that. And
Right.
he
Yeah.
got 25
like
for
that.
killing 50 women? Okay. Yeah. See, this is why I get irate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he confessed to actually killing 49 women
Oh.
to an undercover agent who was posing as his cellmate at the time.
Oh.
But even if you confess, you need to have, how many people confess to things that Ted Bundy had done or all these others? So
I don't know. Is that a big thing?
that is a big thing. People wanting
also
to take
false
credit.
confessions too.
Yeah, people want to take credit to be.
Get a little
Copycat,
notoriety action
yeah.
or-
Yeah, so
I guess so. People are weird.
yeah, there's actually a book on this guy. It's called On the Farm. And
Oh.
so there's a book, there's lots of things. Because, this to Canada, I guess, from what I read, was their Ted Bundy, their Jeffrey Dahmer. So there's lots of information about that. And, yeah.
Well, I'm glad Wendy survived. I'm sorry
Yes.
that it didn't sound like she thrived as much as some of our other victims.
Which is really too bad. But I mean, she fought.
She did.
She got out.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
So it sounds like she wants to live. So I don't know.
I know,
Sad.
Wendy.
So again, with no information about our
Yeah.
survivors, here's hoping that they are,
Healthy
just
and happy.
relocated and went somewhere new to start a new
Yeah.
life.
Wendy, if you're out there, we hope you're happy and healthy
Yes.
and killing it at life.
for sure.
Yeah.
Not pig farmer style. That guy's gross.
That guy is gross. Like,
Oh, I actually downloaded a photo for you guys to look at
Ooh.
of
I do
the
like
pig farmer.
pictures.
oh.
So, yes.
Let me see.
So you can see that, he really wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that he looks like the Silence of the Lamb dude.
Yeah,
the
he
lotion
does.
guy.
The lotion guy.
Oh,
Buffalo Bill.
Oh, dear.
Whatever.
Man.
He's nasty.
Yeah, ugh. Well, I
When
mean,
I
most
think of-
killers probably don't look. Well, I mean, Ted Bundy.
I don't know. When I think of prostitution, I always try to like glam it up a little bit, more like Pretty Woman style. That's but unfortunately, I don't think that's the case.
I actually have a friend who wrote her thesis on how prostitution should become legalized in the States because, it is elsewhere. And,
I fully agree.
and
I think it should be
if
legalized.
men don't get as harsh as punishment as the women that they hire, or vice versa,
Yeah.
so, they're paying for a service, shouldn't they just get the same amount of time, the same amount of like bills, or that they have to pay, court fees that they have to pay.
Yeah.
And if it was legal, these women and men, and unfortunately children, would probably be able to get the healthcare that they need to stay safe
Yeah.
and not.
Well, that's the thing that always bothers me is, because it is so unsafe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you have these, kids who have been trafficked into it and have no choice but have been
Yeah.
rejected by their parents because they're prostitutes now. And it's like, oh, yeah, because I just decided to wake up today and decide to go hooking. No.
Yeah, you
right.
don't wake up and think of that as this is what I'm gonna be when I grow up. You
Yeah.
obviously go through so much to get to that point, and
Yeah.
there needs to be services out there to help men, women.
Well, just make
Yeah.
the whole thing safer.
There we go. Well, that was a great story.
It was a good story. I'm
good.
glad she survived. Oh, I'm kind of mad actually about the whole story. That they had him, they let him go, and
That's how it usually is, though. Like, they have them, they can't tie him to. Well,
Anything.
I mean, but how could. Like, they have the key, and I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean.
Well, there's also like this story. It's nothing like the one I'm thinking of, but I'm thinking about it. It's the Preppy Killer murder. Have you guys heard of that one? It was in the 80s
have heard
in
of
New
it.
York. And
I
it's
just read about it.
Yeah,
like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's about a man who, an 18-year-old young man who killed a 17-year-old young woman, and this was before rape shield laws were in place, so you couldn't talk about a woman's or a man's sex history. And he had killed her, and there was so much evidence against him. There was like marks all up and down her body, and he had scratches across his face, and he had left this woman's body in Central Park. And he got like 4 years because he pleaded down to a
Took a plea deal?
took a plea deal. And then he was arrested 4 years after that for something else. No, he ended up doing more time because he kept fucking up in jail. But he was arrested for doing drugs and got more time for doing drugs than for killing and raping a woman.
Wow.
And that just drives me crazy.
It does drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I get so mad. I think I've brought it up like 18 million times.
Yeah.
It's like every other podcast. Oh, I get so mad.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's,
My friend Lydia and I, we always, our kind of motto is people suck.
yeah.
Agreed.
Suck.
Trust your gut and people suck.
Yep. For sure. There's that thing where, you know, people are trying to be so polite and so kind and not trying to be like, oh, obviously this person's here to kill me or attack me. So they like put themselves in positions and go against their gut because they're trying to be polite.
Right. Yeah.
And-
you get that a lot from
and
women.
so,
That would be my biggest concern.
Yeah.
And actually, this other podcast that I listen to besides your amazing one,
Oh, thank you.
is Crime Junkie.
Yes. I
And
listen to them as well.
they say be weird, be rude, stay alive.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tanya, for the drink suggestion and the story and
Well, I
for
kinda
being
took over
here.
the drink
You
suggestion.
did, but you
did.
couldn't find your punch recipe.
Right.
Do
And
you know what was in it?
yeah, it's like 3 different alcohols, plus you got to do a mold to put it in there. It was just a whole to do.
Oh, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, so I was like,
It's like a party drink.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
see.
so-
What's the mold? Like, is it with
It's
gelatin?
like a you get a bunt pan and then you put like oranges and limes, and then cranberries, and then you put them together and pour some ginger ale and orange juice and freeze it. Then you get like 4 cups of vodka, 3 cups of triple sec, and something else, and then you put the mold in there, and it just like disperses all of it, and
I
it's
see.
just so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem a little complicated.
Yeah,
We'd be
so-
sitting there waiting for it to melt, and
And then
Yeah.
we was sitting there waiting for it to freeze. If you guys didn't make it until today,
That's true.
yeah, we just have the whole. There would
Yeah.
be no freezing.
Yeah.
It would just be a punch.
But this drink was still really
Yeah.
tasty. So
very good.
I'll have these again in 1 week.
Yeah.
For sure.
there we
Right
go.
on.
Well, this is going to be posted December 2nd. So we're in December
Well, I
now.
will have had these 3 days prior.
Yeah. So we
Or
hope you
4
had
days.
we hope you had a good Thanksgiving. So, all right. So, if you'd like to follow us, we're on Facebook and Instagram. And if you have your own survival story or know one that you like, you can email us at ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow@gmail.com. And we should be having our own website launching here soon, which is ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow.com. So keep
It's
an
all
eye out.
happening.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
So keep your eye out for that, and we will see you next time. So thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.